You see it on the poster, Brett Goldstein and Jennifer Lopez. Let's be honest here. Did you think that was going to work? There's another thing I would consider a mistake, and it was in the casting department.
To be fair, I didn't feel that way.
I like the scene where he gets a... Sorry if that's a huge takeaway from your beautiful thing you were describing. All right, we just got back from the LA premiere of Office Romance starring Jennifer Lopez and Brett Goldstein, and we definitely have some thoughts. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about, does the chemistry work between Roy Kent from Ted Lasso and the queen of rom-coms? J-Lo is back at it. Also, the writing. Let's talk about that because Brett Goldstein also co-wrote this movie that he stars in. So the question has to be asked, is it funny? What about the com with the rom?
And as a therapist, I have thoughts about workplace relationships.
I would imagine you do. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
All right, let's start with a spoiler-free review of this. We will spoil the movie a little bit later on in the video, but I'll make it very clear when we're going to get into that territory. So in the meantime, if you're just trying to figure out if this is a movie that you want to spend time watching on Netflix, this is what you need to know. I'm going to kind of hit it from the writer's perspective, talk about the cast, talk about the writing, if it works, and you can kind of give them a rundown of the relationships.
Yeah, sounds good.
And stuff like that. So first of all, round of applause for Brett Goldstein, leading man.
Yes, it was great.
Looking very good. So is J-Lo. Oh my God. They both look really great in this movie. Also, Brett Goldstein co-wrote this movie. So let's talk about that a little bit. I love seeing him in this part. I think it's really great to see him in this leading man situation and to go from the supporting character in Ted Lasso and then Shrinking and his stand-up, really seeing this dude take off.
Yeah, it's been so cool.
Fantastic. He is such a talented dude. We love you, Brett.
Yes, he is.
And also, if you're going to do your first rom-com, J-Lo, opposite J-Lo for your first rom-com.
Right? That's pretty
nice,
good.
Dude. And I want you to talk about their chemistry in a second, but I'll say broadly, I was surprised.
Me too.
You think Brett Gold, and she's like 10 years older than him.
Right.
Did you think that this was going to work? Honestly, you see it on the poster, Brett Goldstein and Jennifer Lopez. Let's be honest here. Did you think that was going to work?
I thought it was very odd. It was definitely an odd choice, but I was open to it. I definitely went in being like, yeah, why not? Let's see what happens. And they did a great job.
They did a great job. The chemistry is definitely there. So
yeah,
that's what you want. See, and that's the thing with rom-coms, the formula is the formula. I mean, you really can't break too many rules. If you're wondering, hey, does this new J-Lo rom-com just break all the rom-com rules, break the mold, and absolutely change the world of romantic comedies? No, it does not.
No.
It's got the formula. It follows a little bit of the typical path. We'll get into it later when we're spoiling the movie on how it kind of does change a couple of things. There's one key thing that I will get to in a little bit that this movie does not do, that a lot of rom-coms do, and this movie didn't do it, and I actually kind of enjoyed that change of pace. We'll get into that in a minute. Okay. But the spoiler-free version of the premise that you would see in any trailer, J-Lo is the CEO of an airline, Air Cruz. She plays Jackie Cruz. This is an airline that her dad actually founded, and she now took over. She's doing the boss bitch thing, running the airline.
Right.
And her dad is played, supporting cast, by the way, amazing, by Edward James Olmos, her dad from Selena.
Yeah, which was so cool to see them reunite.
Absolutely. And he didn't once get mad about her wearing a bra.
No.
So I was both disappointed by that, but I was like, you do something once, you don't really need to do it again.
Yeah.
That was great. He's great in it. Supporting cast. Oh, to finish the premise, right? So she's the CEO of the airline. Brett Goldstein is the airline's new lawyer. helping them with a frivolous lawsuit. They've got a new lawsuit where another airline is coming after them over some tedious stuff. It's nonsense. It's pretty sexist in the way it's motivated. And Brett Goldstein steps in with Bradley Whitford, who's one of my favorite actors, whether we're talking drama and something like Get Out or a comedy, something like all the way back to Billy Madison. Love Bradley Whitford. That dude is so incredible. He's like the in-house lawyer for the airline, and something happens to him. I won't spoil it. And Brett Goldstein, like the new cat's got to like take over and solve it. And so he's working together with J-Lo on the case. Bada bing, bada boom, rom-com.
Right.
That's basically how it all rolls out. For
sure.
I will say there is something really great about the casting overall. There's only one, and we're going to get to it in a minute. I know I'm setting some things up for later, but I do want you to stick around if you want to know these details. There's one thing that they didn't do, like I mentioned, that they always do in rom-coms, almost always. There's another thing I would consider a mistake, and it was in the casting department. We talked about it. I kind of couldn't help but mutter it as soon as it happened in the movie. We're in the premiere, and I was like, "Bro, not a good idea. Should not have cast that person in this role." And not that they did a bad job. They didn't do a bad job. They maybe did too good of a job. That's part of the problem. We'll get to that in a minute.
To be fair, I didn't feel that way.
Great. And that, to me, it's probably my overly analytical, like writery brain.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of movies and a lot of TV shows, and sometimes you get a certain person in a role, and we'll break this down, and it just kind of throws off your expectations, and it can make things predictable and kind of spoil the ending of the movie. So no spoilers yet, but I kind of got ahead of the plot because of some choices that they made. We'll talk about it. Other people who are really great in this movie that will make it worth your time to watch it. Because I will say, overall, just cut to the chase, good movie.
Yeah, I liked it.
If you like silly rom-coms, if you like Brett Goldstein, if you like J-Lo, don't even second guess it. It's a great movie. It's super fun. Tony Hale.
Oh my goodness.
Tony Hale.
He's great.
Arrested Development, Inside Out 2. Tony Hale crushes as the HR guy. It's not the biggest role in the movie, but he's fantastic. We also really enjoyed a great cameo from Will Sasso in the beginning.
He
Mad
was
TV.
So funny.
One of my favorite impressionists. Will Sasso's incredible. Jodie Whittaker, Doctor Who, is great.
She's great.
She kind of shows up, I'll say, as Brett Goldstein's sister, which kind of makes sense. I mean, they're like the two British people in the movie. I don't think I'm spoiling anything there. Jodie Whittaker does a great job. But let's be honest, babe. Betty Gilpin stole this movie.
Oh, my goodness. She crushed this role.
She plays I actually don't know what her title is, but she's like J-Lo's number 2 at the company. So J-Lo's CEO in her office every day, not her assistant or secretary or anything. I mean, she's like executive level.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's like CFO or whatever she does, something in upper management. But she's pregnant. This is not a spoiler, for pretty much the whole movie.
Like super pregnant.
And I didn't really know her.
Me either.
And I think that's part of maybe also why I'm so emphatic about thinking that she did a great job. But she is that character that is quintessential in the rom-com that's like the best friend who's like suspect the whole time.
Yeah.
Who's like, wait, what's going on?
Right.
What's up here? And the way that she plays it, because she's trying to kind of like protect the company and stuff like that. And obviously with any office romance, it's going to be problematic. I think it's spoiler free to say that they shouldn't be sleeping with each other because they work together. That's kind of the premise of the whole movie. And they're running around trying to keep it under wraps. That's pretty much what the whole movie is about.
Right.
Also, I I wouldn't consider this a spoiler, but one of the things that I really love about this is that Jennifer Lopez's character is not only the CEO, she's also a pilot.
Right. Yeah.
Like in the airline business, you know, she's doing both. She knows what she's talking about. And that kind of comes into play in the story as well in a really cool way. It's a lot of like sexist assholes out there who are like women shouldn't be pilots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this movie kind of kicks them in the face, which I think is a really fun thing. What was your take on the whole office romance dynamic of this? Do you think that they played it out in a realistic way where it didn't feel overly silly and phony? And what do you think about like the actual realistic dynamic of the relationship here?
Yeah, I think they did a great job of kind of building it up. I don't think it was like it happened right away. I don't think it was like super slow. So I thought the pacing was actually really good.
Good tension building. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the scenes where they're like starting to feel a vibe, but they're like trying to be very professional, but you can see the chemistry. And I think that's the part that was surprising, like how quickly you feel their chemistry. And it just really works.
Yeah, I have to say, I was truly shocked how well it worked. And the things that I think they did well from a comedy perspective, man, there's some great surprises. That's the thing about rom-coms.
Yeah.
It's so formula. There's a checklist. You have to have kind of a meet cute moment. You have to have the part where it's going great and they're falling in love and do some montages. You've got to have the big, you know, a climax moment where they're breaking up, they're not gonna work out, and then there's they're gonna get back together. Like you got to check these boxes. That's just that's rom-coms.
Yeah.
And this movie did a great job, not necessarily with shocking the way that they went about those moments, but little jokes, little surprises along the way where it is in the formula. They're in the middle of checking the box. And there's almost like a wink of like, we know we have to check this box, but let's do something kind of outrageous in the moment so that it doesn't feel so predictable. Because that's the thing, when you're doing a movie that is formula, the audience gets ahead of it. And that's why so many rom-coms are like predictable and boring and not that good, even if there's super cute people in it. Because you get so ahead of what's going to happen. A lot of people, I think, don't even like rom-coms because they're like, I get it. They're like, okay, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to do this.
Right.
And I think the reason why any one of them is ever any good at this point is because the comedy part, not the romantic part, the comedy part of it hopefully throws you a few curveballs.
Yeah.
Last thing I'll say, which was really fun, and I love it when movies do this. This is not to spoil it for you, but at the end, there's kind of an epilogue slash, it's not, I thought it was going to be like next to the credits. You know, sometimes the credits roll and there's like a blooper reel or something.
Yeah.
But they didn't do it. They went full screen with this and didn't make it credit adjacent.
Yeah.
There's a whole montage at the end of the movie with the supporting cast. So there's a lot of people in this movie who had really small parts. There's a few people who had like medium parts, but they took Brett and J-Lo almost completely out of the whole segment. I think they're in it for like a second. Everybody else gets a real chance to shine and have a funny bit.
Yeah.
There's some characters that were so small that they maybe had 2 or 3 lines in the whole movie, but they got to come back at the end.
It was great.
In the epilogue montage and do something silly. And I love that because what that really says to me is like the people making this movie had a really good time making the movie, and they wanted to make sure that the people with smaller parts weren't outshined by the fact that Jennifer Lopez is the star. It's like, this kid from the mailroom or whatever, remember that funny dude with the mustache, whatever, from Act 2? Give him a moment to be silly and come back. So if you're into it, based on what we've said so far, go check it out. If you've seen it already, and you're ready to have it spoiled for you as we talk about some of the details.
Yes.
Let's get into that right now.
Do it.
All right, so we're officially in spoiler territory. We're going to start it off. I want to talk about just favorite moments of the movie. So do you have like a favorite scene or favorite moment or even joke, something?
Yeah. So my favorite scene is when they go to the DR.
Okay.
And it's like the first moment that they actually act on something. So they really have that moment where they're really trying to figure out, like, is this a good idea? Like, they're at dinner. It's super cute. And then Jackie Cruz wants to dance. And so they start dancing. And he's very like he's more like trepidatious about it. But then, of course, he leans in. And it's just a beautiful moment where they finally kiss.
I like the scene where he gets a boner. He gets like a huge boner in front of her in the beginning. Sorry if that's a huge takeaway from your beautiful thing you were describing.
That scene is so funny.
Well, and this is the thing that I was saying before that they do really well. This movie does a good job, and there's been other rom-coms that have done an okay job at this. It's not like they broke ground on this, but I was saying before, this is the stuff that you have to do in order to make a rom-com interesting, because you got to check all these boxes. You got to find things to surprise us with, and this movie is like not watch with your grandma. I should say that out like off the gate, as it were. We should be clear about this.
Definitely.
There is a birth scene in this movie where you actually see full head emerging from vagine. So like Knocked Up style. That might be my favorite scene too. The scene where she's giving birth and she uses that as a way to get them to tell the truth about their relationship.
Right. The ultimate emotional manipulation moment.
Yeah, Betty Gilpin is literally pushing a baby out of her body, and she's like, I'm not pushing it out till you tell me the truth. That shit was so good.
That was really
so
funny.
fucking funny. I was laughing like that. That moment, once it was clear what they were doing, you'd think you'd kind of go, I see, I kind of see. But their performances and their comedic timing kept making me laugh because I kept being surprised at the next level of it.
And it wasn't at a hospital.
Right. It's in the middle of the office.
Right.
Also, when she comes back in the next day and tries to pretend like she didn't just have a baby, and she like can't walk and she keeps like passing out and she's like lactating and all this stuff's happening. She's like, I'm fine. Like, man, again, Betty Gilpin just destroyed this part. Yeah. And I loved her arc. She started off kind of subtly just like giving looks and being a little sassy. And as the movie went on, they gave her more and more to do, getting all the way to giving birth, coming back postpartum, falling apart at the seams. Like, she's so good. She and maybe the best written part in the movie as well, just with like the levels that she got to go to. Like, Tony Hale crushes. He's really funny, but he kind of has to do the same thing in all of his scenes, right? Yeah. Bradley Whitford has some fun growth, but it's like a switch. Like, you see him as a lunatic lawyer, and then he disappears for a big chunk of the movie, and he comes back like running the food truck. And he's like, it's all good, man. I'm Buddha on a lily pad. Like, I was over here making burritos, man. Like, and so it's very like, flip a switch. Betty Gilpin has to play this role that increasingly gets closer to giving birth and just gets more manic and frustrated because also her buddy and coworkers like not telling her the truth, and she knows what's going on. And it's not her place to fully call her out because she's the boss. Right. It's such a well-written part.
But I think like Betty is the ultimate RBF face.
Yeah.
Like that resting bitch face she
Right.
has is gold.
Yeah, she's
like, it's
very
so
good at that.
Good.
So here's where I think they made a mistake.
Okay.
Amy Sedaris. And like, this is big spoiler territory. This is like maybe the only real big surprise, if there's going to be a surprise in this movie.
Mhm.
So if you haven't seen it and you made it this far still, maybe maybe pause and go watch the movie if you don't want it totally ruined, because I'm about to do that. So they go to the DR and they have their night where it finally happens. They've had all this tension growing like in Act 2.
Mhm.
And they finally hook up and they're in the morning. They put the little white resort robes on. They're having coffee and everything.
Cute.
And then knock at the door, room service. And it's Amy Sedaris, who, like, if you know comedy at all,
Mhm.
you know Amy Sedaris from something. She's amazing. Like Strangers with Candy. Like, I mean, I could do her IMDb. It would take all day. She's so talented. She's been in so many things.
Mhm.
And this is what I call, and it may not be my phrase, maybe someone else has called it this too, overcasting. This is where you have a part that is supposed to surprise you. And this is a tough part of filmmaking, right? You have a part that is supposed to be a surprise. Like, oh, it's the killer in the movie, you know? And in the beginning of the movie or the TV show, that character makes a brief appearance. And then in the end of the movie or TV show, they turn out to be the killer or the surprise or the culprit or whatever. They're the big turn. If you overcast that part too early,
Mhm.
and that part also is kind of small in the beginning, your brain and your eye just kind of goes to them. You know, it's like, wait, why is that? And now if you go really big, right, you won't suspect it. If that had been like Tom Cruise, if like Tom Cruise came in and was like, what's up, guys? Let's do a little room service. You'd be like, huh. It's kind of fucking crazy. What the fuck is Tom Cruise doing in this movie? And then he disappears for the rest of the movie. You'd be like,
random.
Yeah, you'd be like, cameo.
Mm.
That's like a hardcore cameo, A-list cameo. Brad Pitt does stuff like that.
Mm.
He's been in some movies like Deadpool and different things where you're like, holy shit, there he is. And then he goes away and that's it. Not a pivotal role. That's a cameo.
Mhm.
This is not a cameo. This is an overcasting.
Mhm.
Amy Sedaris is an absolutely top level comedian, but she's not an A-lister. You know, she's not Brad Pitt. She's not Tom Cruise. It's not, you know, Nicole Kidman. It's not someone that big, but she's very good and very notable.
Sure.
And she shows up for this very brief scene where she's kind of silly and she happens to witness them kiss each other and be all canoodly.
Right.
Right? Then at the end of the movie, it is revealed that she was a private investigator who was there to see if they're fucking each other.
Right.
And they are. And she sets the whole third act into upheaval, causes the climax. Her reveal is like, oh, we got you. We got photos of you guys making out.
Right.
You're done, J-Lo. You're done. It's like it's supposed to be the end all of their relationship because of this. And the moment she showed up, I was like, oh, cool. She's in this. And now we were at the premiere, so we saw her outside.
Right.
And then looked on IMDb and was like, she's going to be in the movie. We knew that.
Yeah.
But she had this tiny role that was like end of Act 2, middle of Act 2, something like that. She comes in, she does the room service. They make out in front of her. Not make out, but they like kiss each other.
Yeah.
And they pretend to be husband and wife. They completely do the one thing that they don't do in front of any other character for the entire movie and reveal their relationship because they think they're safely in the DR.
Right.
Now, had it been a Hispanic lady who seemed like she belonged in the Dominican Republic and wasn't Amy Sedaris, and then later you're like, oh shit, she was a private investigator, that would have been a surprise. She could have been funny. She could have been like a talented, give her a couple of fun lines, get a funny comedic actress, but get someone that we don't recognize as soon as she comes on screen so that we forget her as soon as she leaves. That is the key.
Yeah.
I reference when we left another movie, Prisoners. And I'm going to spoil this movie if you've never seen Prisoners with Hugh Jackman, but this movie's like over 10 years old. So, but Melissa Leo turns out to be the villain of that movie, and she's introduced fairly early. And it's Melissa Leo. Like, if you know movies, like in TV shows, like she's really talented. You don't cast someone like that in that role unless they're going to be important later.
Yeah.
And that's why the Amy Sedaris thing, immediately, as soon as she walked in and then they kissed in front of her, I was like, well, that's going to be a fucking problem.
Yeah, and it's so funny you say that because I didn't feel that way.
Right.
I'm not as familiar with Amy's work. Like, I do recognize her.
Right.
But for me in that scene, I was like, oh, that's so cute. Like, they're just swept up in the new relationship energy and they're just really leaning into the husband and wife trope.
Right.
And, you know, I was just like, whatever. They're in a foreign country. Like, it'll be okay. But it wasn't okay.
And a lot of people are going to watch the movie and not clock it. But it would have been the same thing if they'd gotten Molly Shannon. It would have been like, oh,
Sure.
fucking cool. Molly Shannon's in this movie. And then they kiss in front of her and she just kind of walks away. And you're like, I feel like that's going to come up again. But again, if they had gotten just like, I'm trying to think of a good example, but someone who seems like they could be Dominican and, you know, a typical person working in a resort down there. And that's the other thing. They're at this resort. They go to a bar.
Yeah.
They check in. They encounter countless people who work there, and they're all Hispanic, like Dominican presenting people. And then there's this one older white lady who does room service. That doesn't make any sense. And I get that they want, and she's funny in it. Even that one scene where she walks in, she only has a few lines, but she's hilarious. She does a great job, but she's too good. She's too memorable. And she's an older white lady in the Dominican. Like, she seems like she's trying to be in disguise or something, and she's not at all. Right. So that kind of did it for me. The one thing that's the one thing that they did that I feel like was a mistake. The one thing they didn't do, which I really love, because every rom-com does this. There's always a lie between the two of them that causes the breakup. And that's not what led to the breakup. What led to the breakup was Amy Sedaris and the other airline and the lawsuit and all that stuff. Hey, we gotcha. Now, they did have a moment where Brett Goldstein was lying about his sister. Lying by omission. He's very private. That's kind of his lesson in the movie, is you got to learn about being so British. Let's be honest. He's keeping everything private, too private. She's like, come on, Americanize yourself a little bit and tell me what's going on in your life.
Oh, God.
And so he's hiding the fact that his sister is a convicted murderer, and he's actually in America to get her out of prison and like help her out, which is great. But that doesn't break up their relationship. They have a quick tiff and then they talk about it and they get over it, which is fine. Every single rom-com seems to have this whole lie of like, wait, this whole time you were investigating me? I thought I knew you. Our whole relationship was a lie. I'm running away from you now. And then they have to convince the person to be back. You know, it's like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. It's like, oh, you were writing an article about me. Or like Mr. Deeds with Adam Sandler and Winona Ryder. It's like, oh, you were trying to, you know, I think the same thing. It's like a journalist investigating the other person.
I just rewatched 27 Dresses the other night. Also an article situation. Man,
there's always journalism is like the villain of the story. And I'm glad that wasn't it. It wasn't, I'm secretly writing an article about you.
Yeah.
Which is really great. So I love that they did that. Do you have a weak spot in the movie? Like something where you feel like it didn't make sense or you were like, wait, what?
Yeah, I think at the end in the epilogue, which was incredible. I loved it.
With all the supporting cast bits, yeah.
Yeah, the montage.
Yeah, that was great.
There is an update with Jackie and Daniel, and they're engaged. And I was like, what? Like, that's so fast. Like, that's kind of like the most unrealistic part, in my opinion.
And it felt kind of superfluous. It's like, can't they just be in a healthy relationship now? Like, obviously it's a rom-com, so they do like get together in the end and everything's cute. But like, what did that add to be like, oh, and by the way, I just want to let you know that off screen I proposed and now we're engaged. And so there is both a proposal and wedding that you will not witness, but here's a line of dialogue says we're engaged now.
It was very nonsensical, in my opinion. I think like how the movie ended, like that scene was great. Like I thought, they kind of wrap it up. It's a happy ending. But the whole like getting engaged, giving Tony Hale a wedding invitation, I was like, I don't get why this is here.
And it felt almost like that was the last box they needed to check for it to be a rom-com. They're like, oh, and just so you know, we are going to get married. It's like, okay, I don't care.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, we didn't need to do that. No. That's fine. But nobody cares. All right. So let's put a final rating on this.
Okay.
And this is going to be our official, rating walking away from Office Romance with Brett Goldstein and Jennifer Lopez. Okay. So I think, and you tell me if you agree with this, I think it's earned 4 out of 5 to-dums.
I love it, and I agree.
Also, do you not love how much the Netflix to-dum always makes you think of Law and Order?
I love it. Yeah.
Is anybody else? Drop it in the comments below if you have that experience. Because every time I fire up Netflix and it goes to-dum, my brain goes dum 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 dum. It's a saxophone and I did a keyboard. I'm not really sure what that's about.
Fun.
Yeah, whatever. 4 out of 5.
Yeah, it's super fun. Great for a date night for sure. Don't watch it with your grandma.
Don't watch it with your grandma. Don't go on a date with your grandma.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, don't do that. Absolutely not. But overall, I would say let's ask some questions of you guys as well. Drop it in the comments below. Are rom-coms back? Is that a thing, do we think? Because I feel like rom-coms took a big break.
I agree.
J-Lo took a break from rom-coms. She had one like a couple years ago. She's kind of back at it. I wonder if this is going to be part of a resurgence in more rom-coms. I don't know if it's breaking the mold. If anything, I think the number one thing this movie accomplished, and let me ask you this, do you think this movie leads to more leading roles for Brett Goldstein?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I really hope so. And I hope rom-coms are back because they're so fun.
They are fun.
I love it.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe and all that stupid YouTube shit. And we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah. See you next time.